In this episode, the new Alfa Romeo Tonale, the Winnebago eRV2, and the Aston Martin Special Edition DBS. Welcome to episode 167 of the We Are Auto Show. What's up, Mr. Derek?
Mr. Michael Rowell, I know you've been driving around town teaching people how to drive.
Yes.
Anything interesting?
Well, this past weekend, I was out of town for a wedding, and it was out a little bit in the country, and we happened to be on a dirt road.
You know what happens on dirt roads?
Oh, yes.
Rally.
I turned myself into Colin McRae.
Did you?
Oh, yes.
In what vehicle? Yours?
In mine, yes.
Ooh.
Everything was a handbrake.
As it should be.
Because, yes.
It's a dirt road.
It was mostly a straight dirt road, but every time I could find a wide enough opening, I was sideways.
Mm-hmm.
And handbrake full on, just back and forth and back and forth and back. And it's, how can you not love that?
With a rear-wheel drive car, surprisingly, you can turn a straight dirt road into a ton of fun.
Even with a front-wheel drive car.
Yeah.
And a handbrake.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I pity the fool with the electric handbrake. With the button.
That doesn't work.
That'd be miserable.
No, that doesn't work the same.
It was quite fun.
Nice.
So yeah, that was my weekend.
Always a good time.
Yes, but shall we get into some news?
Sure.
All right, let's get into a small Alfa. It's called the Tonale. I think Tonale, something like that.
An Alfa Romeo.
Uh-huh. And it's a small one.
Huh.
They claim it is a subcompact crossover. Not very big.
Okay, so what are some comparables to this?
Call it the Audi Q3, the X with the BMW X1, the Mercedes-Benz GLA class, that kind of thing.
RAV4?
Maybe that size, yeah.
CX-5?
Yeah.
Okay.
That kind of thing. CX3.
Okay.
Not the CX5, but CX3. Small, right?
Gotcha.
But what's weird about this is it's got some electricity to it.
Mm-hmm.
Alfa's first hybrid.
So it's got some ice and some electricity.
Mm.
Okay.
Yes. So
Tell
the
me
new
more.
Tonale uses a plug-in hybrid with a turbo 1.3 four-cylinder.
Small, but that's fine.
Not big, but it's not a big car.
Right.
It produces 285 horsepower. Zzz.
To be honest, that's plenty.
It's small.
Yeah.
It's probably, if I'm envisioning it, it's like a Golf GTI on stilts, which is what the BMW X1 and the Audi Q3, it's what they all are.
There's no point in putting more than 250 horsepower in this.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. It's got 285 horsepower.
Okay.
All-wheel drive is standard on this Tonale.
Interesting.
And it is Alfa's first plug-in hybrid. So it is a plug-in hybrid EV ICE thing.
Okay. Do we have an idea of how the hybrid works?
I don't. Now, There might be some in the article, which I'll quickly peruse through. Holy cow, I couldn't English there. That'd be great. But I didn't see a whole lot in terms of the techno stuff.
That's fine. There's a variety of ways to do the hybrid, and how they do it is usually interesting. Regardless, it seems like it will be a good mommy missile.
It'll be a great little mommy missile. Although I fear it's not a mommy missile.
What?
It's not big enough to be a mommy missile.
Oh. Okay.
With a car seat in the back, you'd be hard pressed to put two of them in there.
Mm-hmm.
And you put a car seat in things. Because usually if you have a baby, you have things to go with the baby.
Is the goal of the mommy missile to be as big as possible?
Well, nowadays, yes. The goal of the mommy missile is to have a school bus.
Oh, yeah.
But in reality, I think a mommy missile should be the size of the CX-5, the Q5, the X5, the Tiguan. I think anything smaller than that is difficult to be a parent with because a stroller takes up a bunch of room.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to at least have enough room for a car seat and a stroller.
every inch does count with a young one. I agree. And it makes a big difference, a surprisingly big difference.
Like if you're going to dinner with your baby and maybe your parents, the kid's grandparents, right? Yeah, it's not going to fit very comfortably in this.
So then what is this trying to be?
A plug-in hybrid competitor to the Audi Q3.
And who buys it?
I would say it's going to be bought by younger single ladies. Fresh out of college before we have a family kind of ladies.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Italians, too.
Yes.
All right.
And I did quickly look. I didn't see any actual facts and figures about how the electricity gets cooking in here.
Okay. Well, interesting. I do agree with you that this kind of has to be either a younger lady thing or a very old individual. But
one or the other. Yeah.
I don't really think older individuals are trying to buy an Alfa Romeo.
I think if you're an older individual and your choice, you want something with a little more flair and you want something prettier to look at, you're not going to buy a CRV.
No.
It's this or the Fiat Ugly.
You don't just go into the German brands?
Sure, but if you've had all those and you're tired of it.
Okay. There's a very narrow subset of people that are going to be buying this in that case. Because most people who have a BMW, a Mercedes, whatever, they're like, oh yeah, it's the greatest thing under the sun. It's amazing. Until they get in the maintenance bill and they're like, oh, this thing's terrible.
Oh, you.
It's true. It's true.
For most of them.
Yes.
But yeah, so this car does, it comes in 3 different trims. It comes in a Sprint trim, a TI trim, and a Veloce trim.
Interesting.
So your base model is the Sprint. Your top end is the Veloce. So pricing is starting at $44,590 for the base or the Sprint. Then if you bump all the way up to the, what is that, that $49,000, $49,000 and change, that'll be the Veloce. But good news with that.
What might that be?
It does qualify, according to the article, it's eligible for the $7,500 EV tax credit.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
So that actually makes some sense then.
That is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Still looking at a Model Y and going, what? Hello?
Still just doesn't sound good, though.
Okay.
This will sound better.
Oh, certainly.
And it looks better.
No,
it has a face. A Model Y does not have a face. A Model Y is Lord Voldemort.
Tesla has a unique Tesla face.
Which is a non-face face.
No, there's a face there.
It's like this featureless thing.
I wouldn't say completely featureless, but I agree. It's not as feature rich as that.
That is much prettier than a Tesla.
I would agree with that, but I wouldn't say that Teslas are featureless. They have a very unique style to them, a very simplistic style.
I see the face of Lord Voldemort every time I look at a Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I mean by that? Do you know who Lord Voldemort is? Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He has like no nose.
Yeah.
A Tesla looks like Lord Voldemort.
Kind of, because it doesn't have the grill. I get that.
I agree.
They don't need it, though.
Yeah, but that's part of the whole face of it.
All right.
Just saying.
We can agree to disagree. That's fine. This is an interesting vehicle. Is there anything else about it?
Apparently it comes with some sort of NFT that helps keep track of its service history. I don't know much about that, but it's kind of cool.
Do you want to go down the rabbit hole?
I'll let you make that decision.
Okay.
A non-fungible token.
We'll briefly talk about it. The technology behind blockchain, Bitcoin, NFT, all that stuff, it's called blockchain.
Those are a lot of buzzwords you just used.
I know. The whole crypto world's freaking out right now. It's buy, hold. Anyway, once the crypto bros are out of here, all that technology is a series of transactions that point to each other and are encrypted in a way where you cannot break the previous transaction without breaking any upstream transactions.
Okay.
It's just tech. You can use this, in theory, the blockchain tech, to do any sort of tracking of anything.
Okay.
For example, if I was doing warehouse tracking in Amazon, I would totally use blockchain to say, this box moved from this location to this one, and it was tagged on the blockchain as this was the timestamp, and here's the hash of it, and it goes to the next one. It's a secure way of understanding a series of events that happen. Not a terrible application of it here. Why it has to be specifically an NFT and it can't just be blockchain tech, I don't know. But, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Apparently you can pre-order the TI and the Veloce trim.
All right.
So you're not allowed to pre-order the Sprint because they don't want you buying a base model car.
That was the lowest model, right?
Yes, correct.
Interesting.
So overall, love it or hate it?
College girls will love it.
100%.
I'm kind of impartial to it. It doesn't really matter to me.
I agree. It's irrelevant to me.
Yeah.
But it is news, so we shall talk about it.
All right.
And let's talk about some other news.
What's next?
Let's talk about a Winnebago.
Okay. All right.
Normally you'd be stoked to talk about something obscure.
I usually am.
So let's talk about the Winnebago eRV2. What does the E usually signify?
Electric.
Ooh.
Telling me there's an electric Winnebago out there?
Apparently there is. Technically, it's a prototype, but it's not really prototypey anymore because it's being driven, right? It's not the prototype you'd think where like you go to a car show and it's like complete concept of nothing, but like
Right.
They're actually test driving this.
Okay.
It's electric. Apparently, Winnebago calls it a motorhome, but it is classified as a Class B camper van. That is just like a regular camper van.
It's like a Ford Transit van.
It's actually built on Ford's electric transit van chassis.
Oh, okay.
So what you just said is totally accurate, yes.
Sweet. And it's electric, which means hopefully it has good amount of battery capacity and range.
No.
Huh?
No.
What is it?
Its range?
Yeah. Or its battery capacity.
I'll start with its range.
They're kind of correlated, but sure.
So make sure you're sitting down for this. It's 108 miles. 108.
What?
That's not even what I get to that's about a quarter of a tank of gas for my personal car.
They're not missing a zero?
No.
It's
108. Hardly over 100 miles. David Goggins runs that in a day.
What the heck?
Yeah.
That's not great.
It's a Winnebago. You're supposed to drive it like 700 miles, stop for the night because you're tired, and sleep where you stop.
You cross country.
You don't drive to 5 towns further down the road and realize, oh, gotta stop, sorry.
What the heck? That is very questionable. I imagine that all the electronics inside are probably also run off the battery pack. So
I'll give you some more some information here. I'm going to pull some quotes from the article. The eRV2 has the underpinnings of the Ford e-Transit van, but it's got this dedicated proprietary ion blade lithium house battery, which is separate to the regular battery.
Okay.
So apparently it has these thin batteries that lay beneath the floor, which that makes sense, right? But Winnebago is saying that the lithium house battery is the most powerful, compact, and safest lithium battery system available today. It's a 48-volt system with more than 15,000 usable watt hours, and apparently the chassis battery takes 45 minutes on a DC fast charger to get 80% charge, but the house batteries take 2 hours or 5 hours depending on your charger.
So it sounds like I was wrong. The interior lights probably run off the house batteries.
Correct.
And there's a separate circuit for that. That's kind of really, really weird. I don't know why they're doing that.
So to take that a little further, which is odd, apparently you have 2 separate charging cords, one for the chassis, one for the house batteries.
Huh.
But when not charging, the chassis battery can feed the house batteries.
Oh, so it's like a one-way.
It's like, yeah, this is weird.
Why not just run it off one battery?
I agree. Why not just give it the Hummer battery?
Yeah.
And give it 1 million miles of range and 1 million of everything.
The interior looks pretty nice, I will say.
It looks fine, yeah.
From these photos. It looks like it has usable amount of space. I think that I saw a sink, a little couch, a little
If they just
table.
put a diesel engine in it, it'd be perfect.
That's kind of every Winnebago right now.
Correct.
To be honest. But I guess this is their first attempt at this.
Not very good.
No, it's not great. I don't know why you just don't integrate the 2 batteries together. Use the same circuit. I mean, you look at any EV truck right now, you can totally plug in tools and run them off the battery. You can run your house off the F-150 Lightning if you wanted to. Why not just go that path? That's kind of really weird.
That would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it?
Huh. 100 miles is absolutely atrocious. No one should buy this, to be honest. And what the heck are they thinking?
Can I actually take that whole 108 miles thing a little further here? In the article, they state that research shows that 3 hours of driving before charging is what customers want. So, hold up a minute. If you're averaging 60 miles per hour, you're doing 120 miles in less than 2 hours. Or you're doing 120 miles in 2 hours. So 108 miles is less than 2 hours. And also, to take that further, is 3 hours all you want to go before you stop, though?
For a bathroom break, possibly. But in a Winnebago, I could see you definitely running a solid 5 hours, 6 hours without much trouble.
Like, if you're driving a Winnebago, you are a 5 to 8 hour journey before stopping, minimum.
Yes. Like I said, bathroom breaks excluded. Yes. You're on a road trip. That's the point of this vehicle, is to road trip.
The point of this vehicle is to take it to Petit Le Mans because you and the boys want to go for a weekend.
Whatever camping event you want to go participate in,
correct,
that's perfect for this vehicle. 108 miles doesn't cut it. I agree. Sure, you can go charge it, take your 45 minutes, go get lunch. But 108 miles, you burn that in realistically, you burn that in an hour and a half driving on interstate speeds.
That's what I'm saying.
That's nothing. That is nothing.
That's literally nothing.
No. That's awful.
That's not enough.
No.
Huh. Yes, let's take a road trip. An hour north of home. Yay.
And you got to stop and charge for 45 minutes. No, that's bad. That's really, really bad. That is surprisingly bad.
Like, when you put that contextually, oh my God, that's just miserable.
I think that what they're battling here is their own kind of weirdness about the batteries. Don't understand that. But they're also battling the fact that the aero resistance for this car, the coefficient of drag, will be bad.
It's a brick.
Bad. Really bad.
Awful.
Yes. So a lot of wind resistance included with an interior that is complex and does suck a little bit of energy down. Not a lot. But the only things that you can really adjust are either bigger battery, better coefficient of drag, or like rolling resistance with the tires, right? Those are the key adjustments you can make there. Hopefully they've got the rolling resistance sorted. Ideally they would. Maybe they haven't, because 108 miles kind of sounds like you're on mud tires.
I was going to say, with what they've got, it sounds like they've got nothing sorted.
Maybe. I also see in here there's like a solar panel on the roof, but I can't imagine that will meaningfully impact this vehicle by any means.
So I'm going to steal a quote. It says, Winnebago says the eRV2 can boondock off-grid for up to 7 days. Apparently, because it's a long time with no power, without shore power or a generator. The assumptions that Winnebago is making here is that there are 2 people cooking, 3 meals, and each showering once per day. The eRV2 starts with a full charge, and you get 4 hours of full sunlight per day into that 900-watt solar thing, right? Refrigerator on and normal lighting usage. Roof fan on during the night, and no heater or air conditioning.
Okay. So it sounds like that is charging the interior stuff, right? It's not adding range to the vehicle.
Correct.
I like the idea of that handling the interior stuff because it does produce enough to be able to meaningfully impact the interior.
Mm-hmm.
It won't produce enough to be able to impact the range,
Correct.
which is unfortunate. Yikes. This is a big yikes of a vehicle.
I'm not a fan.
No, it's an attempt, but unless they get really aero with it, it's going to be rough for a while, or they just throw what you're talking about, the Hummer EV battery in there, and just huge battery capacity, let it go.
I think that's the only way they can do it.
I think so, too.
Because how much more aero can you get to a camper van?
Well, you would look at something like the Tesla Semi, right?
True, but that's like, I mean...
It's not a Winnebago at that point.
Correct.
Or a Ford Transit body. The Ford Transit body is a terrible design to make an EV off of.
No, it's not good.
No. Those wing mirrors alone probably add like 0.5 CD. Like a meaningful amount of drag. It's more than the two Apteras combined, I bet you. Yeah.
In just the mirrors.
Yeah.
Oof.
It's probably almost 4. It's ay. What kind of weird vehicle have they made?
Not a good one, in my opinion.
At least it's only a concept, a fleshed out concept, but a concept. Are they planning on selling it?
Seems like they are.
Oh, no. Okay. Weird.
Luckily, there's no price listed yet, so hopefully I don't sell it for too much.
What an odd vehicle.
Yeah, not for me. Let's move on, shall we?
Yeah.
How about an Aston Martin?
Okay.
Now we're talking. So, good news, bad news. Good news, special edition Aston Martin.
Okay.
Bad news, it's an end-of-the-run version of a special edition Aston Martin.
The final?
Of the DBS. Of the current DBS, pardon me.
All right.
So, it is the Aston Martin DBS 770 Ultimate.
What a name.
Mm-hmm. It's quite nameful.
I've heard worse. I've heard better.
But look at it. Oh. Look at the svelte beauty on this thing.
This is quite the marketing images that they've taken here.
Well, it is green.
Yes.
Golly, it's pretty.
It's almost so green it's kind of hard to tell what's going on there. But
I can tell.
Okay.
I can tell. Oh, that's good. Mm-hmm.
It does look good.
It's pretty.
It's Aston Martins are usually very pretty.
They're never not used. Well, I take that back. The Rapide isn't very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot. But is the 770 Ultimate. Apparently, they have cranked some things up a little bit with their standard DBS for the 770. They've taken the standard 5.2 liter twin turbo V12 that they have underneath the hood, and they have tweaked it to crank out 770 metric horsepower. So not American horsepower, but metric horsepower. So in US speak, it's 760 horsepower.
Okay.
That's great, right?
Right.
Apparently it also makes 664 pound-feet of torque, or foot-pound.
That's a lot.
Feet. Yes. Lots of torques, lots of horsepowers. It's good for 211 miles an hour.
Okay.
It's quick.
That's quick.
It's quick. They did give it a lot of little tweaks to make it just all a little bit. It's like a DBS that everything's been done just a little bit more, right? It's not a huge, it's just every little piece is just a little bit better, the sum of the parts combined, right? It's quite good. One thing they did is they gave it like this solid steering column to help give drivers a much more connected feeling, which I like that.
Yep.
But yeah, what do you think about it?
I'm a fan. I like when they do these special editions and actually touch things in a meaningful way. And it seems like they have done that here. And the sum of all the parts do add up to more performance, slightly changed looks, slightly changed interior. It's all the little tiny touches you want for a special edition.
Yeah, I'm a fan. So you ready for price?
That's the worry.
Okay, so they're offering it in a coupe or the Volante trim, which is their convertible.
Okay.
So for the coupe, you are going to be paying the equivalent of $387,000, $600.
Oh boy.
Yeesh. For the convertible, you are paying the equivalent of $415,960.
Jeez Louise.
Damn, that's expensive.
That's a lot.
But I'm sorry, even if you wanted to buy one, you can't because they're all sold out.
I'm not surprised. I'm really not.
You know kind of how we're justifying the price on it here? They're quite rare.
How rare?
499 total.
Ooh, that's pretty rare. I'm surprised they didn't do 770 of them.
I agree. But 499 is the number.
Okay.
Of the 499, you're going to get 300 coupes and 199 volantes. So it's partly why the convertibles are quite a bit more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think they kind of nailed this.
I do too.
I think the numbers are about right.
Mm-hmm.
I think the looks are about right. The changes they made are about right. I really don't have many complaints here.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm thinking this is, it's kind of a good mark for a special edition DBS.
Yeah.
Like, they've done the right touches to the right things. They didn't put like a giant wing, and they didn't go over the top on things. They made all the right tweaks and all the right spots to make it all just the right amount of better.
Mm-hmm.
And it's rare, so it makes sense that it's expensive.
Feels and looks like an Aston, as it should, and slightly different than the normal DBS, which is what they're going for. And yeah, I think $499 is about right for the number you should produce of these.
Yep, $499. Yep, correct.
And as far as price, it's kind of irrelevant, to be honest.
They're all sold out.
Totally
relevant.
Once it's set at a certain number, just let the market demand figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess market demand wanted it that badly. So,
Yeah, so that's the Aston Martin DBS 770 Ultimate.
think we'll see one?
There's a chance we do. I think there's going to be someone locally that gets one.
I think you're right.
Because there is a gentleman locally that did get the previous gen DBS Carbon Edition, which was like a 1 of 50 or something like that. I think he might buy one.
I think you're right. And follow us or subscribe to us, and you'll probably see it on some of the shorts or the Instagram posts.
You got it.
Because we're putting them out.
Mm-hmm. So, you got any other news?
I do not, my friend.
Neither do I. So that's going to wrap us up for episode 167. Thanks so much for watching and listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please do leave us a thumbs up and drop a comment on the video. Let us know what you think about the new Winnebago eRV2. Let us know just how good you think that 108 miles of range is. And if you're listening on audio, let us know what you think about it via social. So send us your thoughts. Facebook is We Are Auto. Instagram is We Are Auto _ YouTube is We Are Auto. And our website is weareauto.io, where you can go to check out some of your favorite past races. So thanks again. Catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.